The streets were packed, the midday sun glaring down, when a young girl, barely 10, ran straight into a man stepping out of a black limousine. In a flash, she was gone. His wallet? Missing. But this wasn't just any man. He was Elijah Crane, a billionaire who controlled empires with a glance. And now, for the first time, he was powerless. Without thinking, he chased her through the crowded streets, his anger fueling every step. She darted, slipped, and nearly vanished into an alley. Until he saw her. And what he saw next. Something that shattered every assumption he had about her, and about himself. Stay with me, because what happens next will shock you, break your heart, and leave you speechless. Before we dive into this story, tell us where in the world you're watching from and what time it is right now. Someone near you might be watching too. And don't forget to subscribe to support and appreciate the work we do on this channel. Now let me take you back to where it all started. Chicago streets roared with life. Taxis honked. Vendors shouted. Thousands of people created noise that never stopped. A black limousine pulled to a stop. Elijah Crane stepped out. Navy suit perfectly pressed. Polished leather shoes catching light. Every detail screamed wealth and control. He fixed his tie with careful movements, eyes scanning the street. This was his world. Order. Precision. Power. Across the street, a small figure moved through the crowd. A girl no more than 10. Tightly coiled hair twisted into tiny knots bouncing with every step. Oversized green jacket hanging loose over a faded dress. She moved quickly, slipping past people. In one moment, she bumped into Elijah. Brushed against his side. Disappeared into the crowd. Elijah's hand shot to his pocket. Empty. His wallet, thick with cash, cards, notes about his business, gone. Rage burned through him. How dare a child steal from him? Mess up his day? Threaten everything he controlled? He didn't think. He ran. His polished shoes pounded the sidewalk. The city blurred around him. He shouted, but the noise swallowed his voice. Sky weaved through streets, avoiding carts, bikes, people in her way. Her small body and quick movements helped her stay ahead. Every turn was planned. Every dodge was on purpose. Elijah's lungs burned. Sweat broke through his perfect look. The man who ran companies couldn't catch a 10-year-old girl. She ducked left. He followed. She slipped right. He stumbled. Each sprint made his anger grow. Each narrow escape frustrated him more. But even as anger filled him, something else pushed through. Questions. This wasn't normal theft. The look in her eyes when she glanced back. The way she moved with purpose. This wasn't about greed. She wasn't running from him. She was running to something. Someone. He pushed harder, ignoring the burn in his chest. His tie came loose. Jacket flapped open. The perfect image fell apart with every step. Another corner. Another alley. She stayed ahead. Ahead, through the crowd, he caught glimpses of that green jacket. She was fast. Too fast for a kid her size. Where did she learn to run like that? His mind raced as fast as his feet. This girl knew these streets. Knew exactly where to turn. Where to hide. Where to lose him. She'd done this before. The thought made him angrier. How many people had she stolen from? How long had she been getting away with this? She turned down a narrow street. He followed, nearly slipping on wet pavement. Rain started to fall. Light drops at first, then harder. The girl didn't slow down. Neither did he. His phone buzzed in his pocket. Probably his assistant. Probably wondering where he was. He had a meeting in 20 minutes. He ignored it. No child was going to steal from him and get away with it. She cut through an alley between two buildings. He followed, the space so narrow his shoulders almost touched both walls. When he emerged on the other side, she was standing there. Waiting. Her chest heaved. Face covered in sweat and rain. Eyes locked on his. Not with fear. With something else. Determination. Behind her, the alley ended at a brick wall. Trash bins stacked against it. No way out. He had her. Give it back, Elijah said, stepping closer. Now. Sky didn't move. Her small hands clutched the wallet against her chest. I can't, she said quietly. You can't? Anger surged again. You stole from me. You will give it back or I'm calling the police. Call them, she said. But I still can't give it back. He stepped closer. That's when he saw what was behind her. Someone sitting against the wall. Hunched over. Coughing. An old woman. Pale. Shaking. Barely moving. His anger faltered. Please, Sky whispered. She needs medicine. She'll die without it. Elijah stared at the scene. The girl. The old woman. The desperation in both their faces. Then the old woman looked up. And Elijah's world stopped. He knew that face. His mother. Elijah froze. His mother. Here. In an alley. Barely breathing. Mom? His voice cracked. Vivian lifted her head slowly. Her eyes struggled to focus. Recognition came in slow waves. Elijah, she whispered. Then coughed. Hard. Her whole body shook with it. Sky moved between them, still clutching the wallet. Don't take it. Please. The pharmacy closes in 20 minutes. Elijah's mind spun. Nothing made sense. His mother lived across town in a nice apartment. He paid for it. Sent money every month. She had everything she needed. Why was she here? In this filthy alley? With a child he'd never seen before? What's going on? He demanded. Mom, what are you doing here? Vivian tried to speak but coughed again. This time blood flecked her lips. Sky knelt beside her, wiping her mouth with a tissue from her pocket. The gesture was gentle. Practiced. Like she'd done it before. She came to get medicine 3 days ago, Sky said, not looking at him. She collapsed outside the pharmacy. I found her. Helped her here to rest. She's been too weak to get home since. 3 days? Elijah stared. She's been here for 3 days? I brought her water. Food. Covered her with my jacket at night. But she needs real medicine. The kind that costs money. Elijah pulled out his phone. I'll call an ambulance. No. Vivian's voice was stronger than expected. No hospital. Too expensive. I can't afford. I'll pay for it, Elijah said. You already pay for too much. Vivian's eyes filled with tears. I can't ask for more. You're not asking. I'm telling you. We're getting you to a hospital. The medicine is faster, Sky interrupted. The hospital is 40 minutes away. She needs antibiotics now. The pharmacy has them. I checked. Elijah looked at the girl. Really looked. Her clothes were dirty. Shoes worn through at the toes. But her eyes were sharp. Clear. She wasn't panicking. She had a plan. How much? He asked. $180. I counted your cash. You have enough. Elijah blinked. You counted my money? I needed to know if it was enough. No shame in her voice. Just facts. He should be furious. This child stole from him. Went through his wallet. Put her hands on his things. But standing here, looking at his mother barely conscious, he couldn't find the anger. Why didn't she call me? He asked quietly. Sky finally looked at him. She tried. You didn't answer. The words hit like a slap. I've been busy. For 3 days. He had no answer. Vivian coughed again. Weaker this time. Her eyes started to close. We don't have time for this, Sky said, standing. She held out the wallet. Take it. Go get the medicine. I'll stay with her. Elijah took the wallet. Stared at it. At this girl. At his mother. Come with me, he said. Show me what she needs. Sky hesitated. You won't call the cops? Just show me. She nodded once. Looked at Vivian. We'll be back. 10 minutes. Hold on. Vivian managed a weak nod. Elijah and Sky ran. They ran in silence. Rain soaked through Sky's jacket. Her shoes splashed through puddles. Elijah kept pace beside her, his mind racing faster than his legs. How do you know my mother? He asked between breaths. I don't, Sky said. Not really. Then why help her? Sky didn't answer. Just ran faster. The pharmacy came into view. Green cross glowing in the gray afternoon. Sky pushed through the door first. The pharmacist looked up. Middle-aged woman with glasses. Her expression changed when she saw Sky. You again, she said. Not friendly. I told you, no money, no medicine. I have money now. Sky pointed at Elijah. He's paying. The pharmacist's eyes moved to Elijah. Took in his expensive suit. Her tone shifted immediately. Of course, sir. What can I get you? Sky pulled a crumpled paper from her pocket. Unfolded it carefully. This. Everything on this list. The pharmacist took it. Scanned the items. This is a prescription. For Vivian Crane. Are you family? I'm her son, Elijah said. I'll need to see ID. Elijah pulled out his driver's license. The pharmacist checked it. Nodded. This'll take a few minutes to fill. We don't have a few minutes, Sky said. It takes as long as it takes, the pharmacist said, walking to the back. Sky's hands balled into fists. She paced near the counter. Kept glancing at the clock on the wall. Elijah watched her. Really watched. She was just a kid. Couldn't be more than 10. But the way she moved. The way she talked. Nothing childish about her. How long have you been taking care of my mother? He asked. 3 days in the alley. Week before that at her apartment. Elijah's stomach dropped. Her apartment? She couldn't walk to get groceries. I brought her food. How did you know she needed help? Sky stopped pacing. Looked at him with eyes too old for her face. I was selling bottles near her building. Saw her drop her keys. Helped her pick them up. She could barely stand. Asked if she was okay. She said yes, but I could tell she was lying. So you just started helping her? Nobody else was. The words were simple. But they cut deep. Elijah had sent money. Paid her rent. Thought that was enough. Meanwhile, a child with nothing gave everything. Where are your parents? He asked. Dead. Who takes care of you? I do. The pharmacist returned with a white bag. That'll be $178.42. Elijah pulled out cash. Handed it over. The pharmacist counted it carefully. Put it in the register. She needs to take the antibiotics twice a day with food. The inhaler is for when she can't breathe. 4 puffs every 6 hours. Sky grabbed the bag. Got it. They ran back. Elijah's mind wouldn't stop. Questions piled on questions. How sick was his mother? Why didn't she tell him it was this bad? When did she start getting worse? But the biggest question burned hottest. How did he not notice? They turned into the alley. Sky sprinted ahead. Then stopped. Went completely still. Elijah caught up. Looked past her. The space where his mother had been was empty. Vivian was gone. No, Sky whispered. She ran to the spot. Dropped to her knees. No, no, no. The jacket Sky had left with her was still there. Crumpled against the wall. But Vivian wasn't. Elijah's chest tightened. Where is she? Sky picked up the jacket. Her hands shook. She was too weak to move. She couldn't have walked. Someone took her. Who would take her? Sky stood. Eyes wild. Scared for the first time since he'd met her. I don't know. But we have to find her. Now. Elijah pulled out his phone. Hands shaking. Dialed his mother's number. It rang. And rang. And rang. Voicemail. Mom, it's me. Call me back. Please. He hung up. Stared at the screen. His last call to her was 6 weeks ago. Lasted 3 minutes. He'd been in a meeting. Told her he'd call back later. He never did. Sky was already moving. Running to the end of the alley. Looking both ways down the street. Do you see her? Elijah called. No. Sky came back. But there's a homeless shelter 2 blocks north. Sometimes they pick up people who look sick. Take them there. How do you know that? Because I've been there. She started running north. Come on. Elijah followed. His expensive shoes weren't made for this. His feet hurt. His lungs burned. Sky moved like she'd run these streets 1,000 times. Because she probably had. When's the last time you saw your mother? Sky asked without slowing down. Elijah's throat tightened. Christmas. That was 4 months ago. I know. You didn't visit? I was busy. Sky glanced back at him. The look in her eyes made him feel small. Doing what? Work. I run a company. I have people depending on me. Your mother was depending on you. The words hit like stones. They reached the shelter. A brick building with bars on the windows. A sign out front, St. James Community Center. Sky pushed through the door. Elijah followed. Inside smelled like soup and sweat. Rows of cots lined the walls. People sat on them. Tired faces. Worn clothes. A woman at the front desk looked up. Gray hair pulled back tight. Kind eyes. Can I help you? Did someone bring in an older woman? Sky asked. Sick. Coughing. About an hour ago? The woman checked a clipboard. Shook her head. No new intakes today. Just our regulars. Sky's face fell. Are you sure? Elijah stepped forward. Her name is Vivian Crane. She's my mother. The woman's expression changed. Recognition flickered. Vivian? Tall woman? Always polite? Yes. Hope surged in Elijah's chest. Is she here? She was. Used to come for meals sometimes. But I haven't seen her in weeks. Weeks? Elijah's voice rose. What do you mean she came here for meals? Every Tuesday and Thursday. Said it helped stretch her budget. Elijah felt sick. His mother. Eating at a homeless shelter. While he deposited money into her account every month. Where would she go if she needed help? Sky asked. The woman thought. Maybe the clinic on 5th Street? They treat people who can't afford hospitals. Sky was already moving toward the door. Elijah stood frozen. Looking at the cots. The people who had nothing. His mother had eaten here. Sat with them. While he sat in boardrooms eating $100 lunches. Sir? The woman's voice pulled him back. Your mother is a lovely woman. Always shared her food with others. Even when she clearly needed it herself. The guilt crushed him. He turned and ran after Sky. Outside, she was already half a block ahead. 5th Street, she called back. It's 15 minutes if we run. 15 minutes. His mother could be dying. And it was his fault. He'd sent money. Thought it was enough. Never asked if she actually had enough. Never visited to see how she was living. Never cared enough to check. His phone buzzed. His assistant. Probably asking where he was. He had meetings. Calls scheduled. A company to run. He silenced it. For the first time in years, work could wait. His mother couldn't. They ran. The clinic was packed. People filled every chair. Some stood against walls. A baby cried. Someone coughed in the corner. Sky pushed to the front desk. A tired nurse sat behind scratched glass. I'm looking for Vivian Crane. Was she brought here? The nurse didn't look up. Name? I just said it. Vivian Crane. Your name? Sky. Last name? Just Sky. The nurse looked up now. Took in Sky's wet clothes. Worn shoes. Are you family? No, but... Then I can't give you information. Elijah stepped forward. I'm her son. Elijah Crane. The nurse's fingers moved across the keyboard. Clicked. Frowned. No Vivian Crane checked in today. Are you sure? Elijah leaned closer. Please. She's very sick. Someone might have brought her in. The nurse checked again. Shook her head. Not here. Sky's hands gripped the counter. Where else would they take her? Could be county hospital. Could be anywhere. The nurse's voice softened. Does she have a phone? Yes, Elijah said. But she's not answering. What about neighbors? Friends? Elijah opened his mouth. Closed it. He didn't know his mother's neighbors. Didn't know if she had friends. He knew nothing. Sky turned away from the desk. Pressed her hands to her face. Her shoulders shook. She was crying. Elijah had seen her steal his wallet. Run through streets. Stand up to him without fear. But now she was breaking. Hey. He touched her shoulder gently. We'll find her. Sky pulled away. You don't get it. Get what? She's all I have. Elijah blinked. What? Sky wiped her eyes roughly. Your mom. She's the only person who's been nice to me. The only one who cared if I ate. If I was okay. But you barely know her. I know her better than you do. The words were sharp. True. I've seen her every day for 2 weeks. Brought her food. Medicine. Sat with her when she was scared. Why? Elijah's voice cracked. Why would you do that for a stranger? Because she's not a stranger to me. Sky's eyes burned with tears and anger. She talks to me. Asks about my day. Makes sure I'm safe before I leave. She's more of a mother to me in 2 weeks than anyone's been in years. The word stabbed Elijah in the chest. His mother. Sick and alone. Had found connection with a homeless child while her own son ignored her calls. 3 weeks ago, I found her on the street, Sky continued. She'd collapsed trying to walk to the store. I helped her home. She thanked me. Made me tea. We talked for hours. Sky's voice broke. She showed me pictures of you. Told me how proud she was. How successful you were. How busy. Sky looked at him. She made excuses for you. Every time you didn't call. Didn't visit. She said you were important. That you had important things to do. Elijah couldn't speak. But she's important too, Sky whispered. And nobody saw it except me. A phone rang at the desk. The nurse answered. Spoke quietly. Hung up. Excuse me. The nurse called to them. There's an elderly woman being treated at county hospital. Brought in 30 minutes ago. Found unconscious near Jefferson Park. Elijah's heart stopped. That's her. They're asking for family. He was already running for the door. Sky grabbed the medicine bag and ran after him. County hospital was across town. 20 minutes by car. Longer in traffic. Elijah didn't have his car. He'd left it blocks away when he started chasing Sky. He raised his hand for a cab. 3 passed without stopping. They won't stop for me, Sky said quietly. She was soaked. Looked like a street kid. Because she was. Elijah stepped into the street. Waved both arms. A yellow cab screeched to a stop. The driver rolled down his window. You trying to get killed? County hospital. Fast. I'll pay double. Get in. Elijah opened the back door. Sky hesitated. Come on, he said. She climbed in. Sat as far from him as possible. Clutched the medicine bag like a lifeline. The cab pulled into traffic. Rain pounded the roof. Wipers scraped across the windshield. Elijah pulled out his phone. Dialed the hospital. County hospital, how can I direct your call? Emergency room. My mother was just brought in. Vivian Crane. One moment. The hold music was torture. Every second felt like an hour. ER, this is Nurse Patterson. My mother, Vivian Crane. She was brought in. How is she? Are you immediate family? I'm her son. Pause. Keyboard typing. She's being evaluated now. You should get here as soon as you can. Is she okay? The doctor will discuss her condition when you arrive. Just tell me if she's. Sir, please come to the hospital. Ask for Dr. Morris. The line went dead. Elijah's hands shook. He couldn't tell if that was good or bad. Beside him, Sky stared out the window. Silent. She'll be okay, Elijah said. Not sure who he was trying to convince. Sky didn't respond. Traffic crawled. A truck blocked the intersection. Horns blared. Can you go around? Elijah asked. Where exactly do you want me to go? The driver gestured at the gridlock. I can't fly. Sky suddenly opened her door. What are you doing? Elijah grabbed her arm. It's faster to run. She pulled free. Jumped out. Hey! The driver yelled. The fare. Elijah threw cash at him. Didn't count it. Didn't care. He ran after Sky. She was already a block ahead. How was she so fast? His lungs burned. His feet screamed. But he kept running. Sky darted across streets. Between cars. Through gaps he didn't think existed. She knew this city. Every shortcut. Every alley. He followed, nearly getting hit twice. They cut through a park. Sky jumped a fence. Elijah had to climb it. Lost precious seconds. His phone rang. He ignored it. Rain came down harder. The bag of medicine in Sky's hand bounced as she ran. She never slowed down. 6 blocks. 5. 4. Elijah's vision blurred. When was the last time he'd run like this? Years. Maybe never. Sky glanced back once. Saw him falling behind. Slowed down just enough for him to catch up. Come on, she said. She needs us. She needs us. Not just him. Both of them. This child who'd known his mother for 2 weeks had more claim to us than he did. The hospital came into view. Gray building. Red emergency sign glowing. Sky sprinted the last block. Elijah pushed through the pain. Through the burning in his chest. Through everything. They burst through the automatic doors together. The ER was chaos. People everywhere. Voices overlapping. Machines beeping. Sky ran to the desk. Vivian Crane. Where is she? The receptionist started to ask who they were. I'm her son, Elijah gasped, pulling out his ID. The receptionist checked her screen. Room 7. Through those doors. But only family. Sky was already moving. She's with me, Elijah said. They ran down the hall. Room 7 was at the end. The door was closed. Elijah pushed the door open. His mother lay on a hospital bed. Oxygen mask over her face. 4 in her arm. Machines beeped around her. She looked so small. So fragile. A doctor stood beside the bed. Young. Tired eyes. White coat with a stethoscope around his neck. Are you family? He asked. I'm her son. Elijah moved closer to the bed. How is she? Severe pneumonia. Dehydration. Malnutrition. The doctor's voice was clinical. Professional. How long has she been sick? I don't know. The doctor's expression hardened. You don't know? I haven't seen her in a while. How long is a while? Elijah couldn't answer. Sky stepped forward. At least 3 weeks. Maybe longer. She stopped being able to walk without getting dizzy about 2 weeks ago. The doctor looked at Sky. Then back at Elijah. And you didn't know this? No. Does she live alone? Yes. Does she have a caregiver? No. I sent her money. I thought. You thought money was enough? The doctor's tone cut. Sir, your mother almost died. Another hour and we wouldn't be having this conversation. The words hit like a hammer. Elijah looked at his mother. Her chest rose and fell slowly under the oxygen mask. Eyes closed. Face pale. Can I talk to her? He asked. She's sedated. We had to intubate her earlier. She was struggling to breathe. The doctor made notes on a tablet. She'll be moved to ICU within the hour. ICU? Elijah's voice cracked. Her condition is serious. She needs constant monitoring. The doctor looked at him directly. I have to ask. Has she been missing meals? Her weight is dangerously low. Sky spoke up. She was eating at a shelter. Twice a week. The doctor's jaw tightened. He turned to Elijah. You're her son? Yes. And you didn't know she was eating at a homeless shelter? No. The silence was crushing. I see. The doctor's voice was ice. Well, she's stable for now. But the next 48 hours are critical. She'll need antibiotics, fluids, rest. And after that, she'll need care. Real care. Not money. Actual human presence. Each word was a knife. Elijah couldn't look away from his mother. Can she hear me? Possibly. You can try. He moved to the bedside. Took her hand. It was cold. Thin. He could feel every bone. Mom, he whispered. I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She didn't respond. Didn't move. Behind him, Sky stood by the door. Still holding the medicine bag. Looking lost. The doctor checked monitors. Made more notes. The nurse will be in to move her soon. You can wait in the ICU waiting room. I'm not leaving, Elijah said. You can't stay during the transfer. I'll wait outside then. The doctor nodded. Started to leave. Paused at the door. Looked back at Sky. You're the one who found her in the park? Sky shook her head. That wasn't me. Someone called 911. Said a young girl was trying to help an elderly woman. That matches your description. Sky said nothing. The doctor's expression softened slightly. You probably saved her life. He left. Elijah stared at Sky. You called 911? Before we went to get the medicine. I saw a police officer. Told him there was a sick woman in the alley. Gave him the address. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't trust you yet. The honesty stung. But you left her alone, Elijah said. I left her with help coming. Sky's voice shook. I thought the medicine would get there before the ambulance. I thought I could bring it back and go with her. You were trying to do everything yourself. Someone had to. There it was again. That phrase that destroyed him. Elijah looked at his mother. Then at Sky. This child who'd done more for his mother in 2 weeks than he'd done in months. Thank you, he said quietly. For everything. Sky's eyes filled with tears. Is she going to die? No, Elijah said. He didn't know if it was true. But he said it anyway. She's going to be okay. He had to believe it. Because losing her now, after everything, would break him. The ICU waiting room smelled like stale coffee and fear. Elijah sat in a plastic chair. Elbows on his knees. Head in his hands. Sky sat 3 chairs away. Still holding that medicine bag. She hadn't let it go. An hour passed. Then 2. Nurses walked by. Families whispered. Someone cried down the hall. Elijah's phone buzzed constantly. His assistant. His business partner. Clients. He ignored all of it. Finally, he looked at Sky. Where do you live? Around. That's not an answer. It's the only one I've got. Do you have family? Anyone I can call? No. What about school? Haven't gone in weeks. Elijah rubbed his face. You can't just live on the streets. You're a kid. I'm fine. You're not fine. You're 10 years old. I'm 11. That doesn't make it better. He leaned forward. What happens when winter comes? Where will you sleep? I'll figure it out. I always do. The words were confident. But her voice wavered. She was scared. Trying not to show it. Elijah's chest tightened. 2 hours ago, he wanted to call the police on her. Have her arrested for theft. Now he wanted to protect her. You stole from me, he said quietly. Sky looked at him. I know. You went through my wallet. Took my money. Yes. I should be angry. You should be. She met his eyes. But you're not. Because you know why I did it. He did know. That was the problem. She'd stolen to save his mother. While he'd ignored her calls. The moral math didn't work in his favor. I built my whole life on rules, Elijah said. Work hard. Follow the law. Earn your way. I never took shortcuts. Never broke rules. Good for you. But you broke the law. Stole from me. And somehow, he stopped. Swallowed hard. Somehow you're the better person. Sky didn't argue. I have money, he continued. Power. Everything people say matters. But a homeless kid showed me I don't have anything that actually counts. You have your mother. Because of you. Not me. Silence filled the space between them. A nurse walked by. Glanced at them. Kept walking. My mom used to tell me stories, Sky said suddenly. Before she died. About people who had everything but weren't happy. And people who had nothing but were rich in other ways. What way were they rich? Love. Family. Being there when it mattered. She looked at the medicine bag in her lap. Money can't buy that. Elijah thought about his office. His penthouse apartment. His luxury car. All of it felt empty now. What happens to you? He asked. After this? What do you mean? If my mother recovers. Where will you go? Sky shrugged. Same place I always go. Nowhere. That's not acceptable. It's not your problem. You made it my problem when you stole my wallet. A small smile crossed her face. Then disappeared. I'm used to taking care of myself. Nobody should have to be. The door to the ICU opened. A nurse stepped out. Family of Vivian Crane? Elijah stood immediately. Sky jumped up beside him. The nurse looked between them. She's awake. Asking for someone named Sky. Sky's eyes went wide. That's her, Elijah said. Can she go in? The nurse hesitated. Are you family? Yes, Elijah lied without hesitation. She's my daughter. The nurse studied Sky. The worn clothes. The dirt under her nails. Clear doubt on her face. Please, Elijah said. My mother wants to see her. The nurse sighed. 5 minutes. Both of you. They followed her through the double doors. The ICU was quiet except for machines beeping in rhythm. Vivian's room was third on the left. Glass walls. Monitors everywhere. Tubes and wires connected to her body. She looked worse under the bright lights. Skin almost gray. Cheekbones sharp under thin flesh. But her eyes were open. When she saw Sky, tears spilled down her cheeks. Baby, she whispered. Voice rough from the breathing tube. You're okay. Sky ran to the bedside. Grabbed Vivian's hand. I thought I lost you. Takes more than pneumonia to get rid of me. Vivian tried to smile. Failed. Coughed instead. A nurse adjusted something on the floor. Keep it short. She needs rest. Vivian's eyes shifted. Found Elijah standing by the door. Her expression changed. Surprise. Then something else. Disappointment. Elijah. Not warm. Not cold. Just tired. Mom. He stepped closer. I came as soon as I knew. Knew what? That you were sick. I told you I was sick. Months ago. The words hung in the air. I didn't know it was this bad, he said weakly. Because you didn't ask. No anger in her voice. Just fact. You sent money. Thought that was enough. Elijah had no defense. Vivian turned back to Sky. Squeezed her hand. Did you get the medicine? Sky held up the bag. All of it. Good girl. You're so brave. The doctor said you're going to be okay, Sky said. You just need to rest. I will. Now that I know you're safe. Vivian's eyes closed briefly. Opened again with effort. Where did they find you? After I passed out? I went to get your medicine. With him. Sky glanced at Elijah. Vivian looked at her son. You helped her? She stole my wallet. I chased her. Found you in the alley. So you didn't come because I needed you. You came because you were robbed. The truth of it was crushing. Mom, It's fine, Elijah. Her voice was fading. Getting weaker. At least you're here now. I should have been here before. Yes. You should have. The nurse stepped forward. That's enough. She needs to sleep. Wait. Vivian's hand tightened on Sky's. Promise me something. Anything, Sky said. Don't end up like him. Don't get so busy making money that you forget people. Sky nodded. Tears running down her face. Vivian's eyes found Elijah again. I was proud of you. Your success. Your business. But I needed my son more than I needed his money. I know, Elijah whispered. I know that now. Do you? She coughed. Winced in pain. Because this is the first time you've looked at me, really looked at me, in years. He couldn't argue. Sky did more for me in 2 weeks than you did in 2 years. Vivian's voice cracked. She's 11 years old. Lives on the street. Has nothing. But she gave everything. The comparison destroyed him. I'm sorry, Elijah said. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't fix it. Vivian's eyes closed. But maybe you can fix it going forward. The monitor beeped faster. The nurse moved to check it. You need to leave now, she said firmly. Her heart rate is elevated. She needs calm. Sky kissed Vivian's hand. I'll come back tomorrow. Okay, baby. Be safe. I will. Elijah stepped to the bed. Touched his mother's arm. I love you, Mom. She didn't respond. Eyes already closed. Breathing evening out. He didn't know if she'd heard him. Outside the room, Sky wiped her face with her sleeve. Elijah watched her. This tiny kid who'd done everything right while he'd done everything wrong. You hungry? He asked. She looked at him suspiciously. Why? Because it's almost dinner time. And I owe you a meal. You don't owe me anything. Yes, I do. He pulled out his phone. What do you like? Sky stared at him. Are you serious? Dead serious. She thought for a moment. Pizza. Pizza it is. They sat in a booth at a pizza place 2 blocks from the hospital. Red vinyl seats. Checkered tablecloth. Smell of garlic and cheese. Sky stared at the menu like she'd never seen one before. Order whatever you want, Elijah said. She ordered a large pepperoni. Breadsticks. A salad. Soda. When it came, she ate like she hadn't seen food in days. She probably hadn't. Elijah watched her. Noticed things he'd missed before. How thin her wrists were. How her jacket sleeves were frayed. How she kept glancing at the door like she expected someone to throw her out. When did you eat last? He asked. Yesterday. Morning. She didn't look up from the pizza. That's almost 24 hours. She shrugged. Took another bite. Elijah's phone buzzed. His business partner. Third call today. He declined it. You can answer, Sky said. I know you're busy. Not anymore. She looked at him then. Eyes sharp. Measuring. People don't change that fast. Maybe I do. We'll see. She went back to eating. Elijah's phone buzzed again. This time a text. Where are you? The Singapore deal is falling apart. We need you now. He typed back, handle it without me. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. What? This is a $50 million deal. Then you should be able to manage it. I trust you. He put the phone face down on the table. Sky was watching him. That sounded important. It's not. 50 million sounds pretty important. You were listening? Hard not to when you're sitting right there. She wiped her mouth with a napkin. Why didn't you go? Because I'm where I need to be. With me? With my mother. And yeah, with you. Sky looked down. Picked at a breadstick. You're going to regret this tomorrow. When you realize what you gave up. I already gave up something more important. I'm not doing it again. She didn't respond. They ate in silence for a while. Sky finished the pizza. Started on the salad. Where are you staying tonight? Elijah asked. I'll find somewhere. That's not an answer. It's the best one I have. Elijah leaned forward. I have a guest room. Clean bed. Hot shower. You can stay there. Sky's fork stopped halfway to her mouth. Why would you do that? Because you need a place to sleep. I don't take charity. It's not charity. It's payment. For what? For saving my mother's life. He held her gaze. And for teaching me what actually matters. Sky set down her fork. I don't know you. You could be anyone. Fair. But you trusted me enough to show me where my mother was. To help get her medicine. That's already trust. That was different. That was about your mom. This is too. She's going to want to see you tomorrow. And I need to know you're safe tonight so I can tell her that. Sky chewed her lip. Thinking. One night, she said finally. That's it. One night, Elijah agreed. She went back to her salad. But he saw the tension leave her shoulders slightly. His phone buzzed again. Another text. Another crisis. He ignored it. For the first time in his adult life, work could wait. They finished eating. Elijah paid. Left a big tip. Outside, rain had stopped. The city smelled clean. Wet pavement reflected streetlights. My car is still parked near where you stole my wallet, Elijah said. We need to get a cab. Or we could walk. Save money. I have money, Sky. Doesn't mean you should waste it. He smiled slightly. You sound like my mother. She's smart. I listen to smart people. They walked toward the main street to find a cab. Sky kept pace beside him. Hands in her jacket pockets. Your mom talked about you a lot, she said quietly. When I visited. What did she say? That you worked hard. Built something big. Made her proud. Elijah felt his throat tighten. But she also said she missed you. That she wished you'd call more. Sky looked up at him. She never blamed you though. Always made excuses. She shouldn't have. I know. I told her that. What did she say? That you were doing important things. That the world needed people like you. Sky kicked a pebble down the sidewalk. I told her the world needed more people like her. Elijah's penthouse was on the 52nd floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Modern furniture. Everything white and chrome and expensive. Sky stood in the doorway. Didn't move. Come in, Elijah said. She took one step inside. Stopped. Stared. What's wrong? He asked. This is where you live? Yes. All of this? Just for you? Yes. She walked slowly into the living room. Touched the back of a leather couch like it might break. Looked at the view of the city lights stretched out below. How much does this cost? She asked. That's not important. Yes, it is. She turned to face him. Because your mom lives in a place with leaking pipes and broken heat. And you live here. The words hit hard. I offered to move her, Elijah said. She refused. Did you ask why? He hadn't. She told me why, Sky said. She didn't want to feel like a burden. Didn't want you spending more money on her when you already sent her enough. I sent her plenty. You sent her $2,000 a month. Sky's voice was flat. Matter of fact. She told me. Said it covered rent and bills and groceries. Said it was generous. It is generous. Her rent is $1,500. Utilities are $300. That leaves $200 for food, medicine, everything else. Sky looked around the penthouse. How much is your rent? Elijah didn't answer. I'm guessing more than $2,000. That's different. How? I need to live somewhere professional. For business. For meetings. And she needed to live somewhere safe. With heat that worked. With a landlord who fixed things. Sky walked to the window. But you never checked. Never visited. Just sent money and thought that was enough. Every word was true. Every word cut deeper. She ate at a homeless shelter, Sky continued. Twice a week. To save money. Because the $200 wasn't enough for a whole month of food and medicine. I didn't know that. You would have if you'd visited. Sky turned around. One visit. One real conversation. That's all it would have taken. Elijah sat down on the couch. Put his head in his hands. I thought I was doing the right thing, he said quietly. Working hard. Building something. Making money so she'd never have to worry. She wasn't worried about money. She was worried about being alone. I called her. Once a month. For 10 minutes. While you were doing something else. Sky's voice softened slightly. She knew you weren't really listening. She could hear it. How do you know that? Because she told me. Said she could hear your keyboard clicking while you talked. Heard you answering other people in the background. Shame burned through him. I loved my mom, Sky said. Before she died. We didn't have anything. Lived in a tiny apartment. Ate cheap food. But she was there. Every night. Asking about my day. Helping with homework. Being my mom. Her voice cracked. I'd give anything to have her back. Even for one day. She looked at Elijah with eyes full of anger and hurt. And you have your mom. She's alive. She's right here in the same city. And you couldn't be bothered to see her. I know. Do you? Really? Sky stepped closer. Because in 2 weeks, I saw her almost every day. I'm 11. I live on the street. I have nothing. But I made time. And you have everything. And you couldn't. Elijah looked up at her. You're right. I know I'm right. I failed her. Completely. Yes. The simple agreement hurt more than anger would have. I can't fix the past, Elijah said. But I can fix now. Fix the future. Can you? Sky crossed her arms. Or will you go back to work tomorrow and forget about this? Forget about her? Forget about me? No. People say things when they're scared. When something bad happens. But when life goes back to normal, they go back to who they were. I won't. Prove it. How? Sky pulled a piece of paper from her pocket. Unfolded it. Handed it to him. It was a list. Written in neat handwriting. His mother's handwriting. Things I wish Elijah knew. I'm lonely. I'm scared. I miss him. I don't need his money as much as I need him. I'm proud of him, but I wish he was proud of me too. At the bottom, dated 3 weeks ago. Where did you get this? Elijah's voice broke. She gave it to me. Said if anything happened to her, I should give it to you. Sky's eyes filled with tears. She wrote it the day I found her collapsed. Elijah stared at the paper. His mother's words. Her loneliness. Her fear. All written down because she couldn't tell him directly. Because he never gave her the chance. Elijah didn't sleep that night. He sat in his office. Stared at his mother's list. Read it over and over until he had it memorized. I'm lonely. I'm scared. I miss him. 3 in the morning, his phone buzzed. His business partner again. The Singapore deal died. Client went with another firm. We lost $50 million. He typed back, okay. 3 dots appeared. Stayed there. Disappeared. No response. Elijah set down his phone. Felt nothing about the lost deal. A week ago, he would have been devastated. Would have flown to Singapore immediately. Would have done anything to save it. Now it felt meaningless. At 6 a.m., he showered. Changed clothes. Made coffee. Sky emerged from the guest room at 7. Hair messy. Still wearing yesterday's clothes. Did you sleep? She asked. No. You? A little. She looked uncomfortable. The bed was too soft. Too soft. I'm used to. She trailed off. Never mind. She was used to sleeping on cardboard. On concrete. Places where soft was a luxury she couldn't imagine. There's cereal, Elijah said. And eggs. I can make breakfast. You cook? I'm learning. He made scrambled eggs. Burned them slightly. Sky ate them anyway without complaining. The hospital opens for visitors at 8, Elijah said. We should go. You're going back? Of course. Aren't you? I thought you'd have work. I do. But my mother is more important. Sky studied him. Still skeptical. What about your company? They'll manage without me for a while. And if they can't? Then I hired the wrong people. They took a cab to the hospital. Elijah paid without thinking about the cost. At the ICU, the morning nurse recognized them. You're back early, she said. How is she? Elijah asked. Stable. Vitals improved overnight. The antibiotics are working. The nurse checked her computer. Dr. Morris wants to talk to you about her care plan. When can we see her? She's awake. Go ahead. Vivian looked better. Color had returned to her cheeks slightly. The oxygen mask was gone, replaced with a small tube under her nose. She smiled when she saw Sky. You came back. I promised I would. Sky went to her bedside. Took her hand. Vivian's eyes shifted to Elijah. The smile faded. You're here too. I'm here, Mom. For how long? As long as you need me. I've heard that before. The words stung because they were deserved. I know I've failed you, Elijah said. I know saying sorry isn't enough. But I'm going to do better. Starting now. How? However you need me to. Vivian closed her eyes. I'm tired, Elijah. Tired of hoping you'll change. Tired of making excuses for you. Then don't make excuses. Hold me accountable. She opened her eyes. Looked at him with an expression he couldn't read. What about your company? What about it? You built it from nothing. You worked for years. And I lost you in the process. He stepped closer. I don't care about the company anymore. Not if keeping it means losing you. You can't just quit. I'm not quitting. I'm reprioritizing. Vivian looked at Sky. Is he serious? I don't know yet, Sky said honestly. But he made me eggs this morning. They were bad but he tried. Despite everything, Vivian smiled slightly. He never could cook. I'm learning, Elijah said. I'm learning a lot of things I should have learned years ago. A doctor entered. Dr. Morris. Same one from yesterday. Good morning. He nodded at them. Checked Vivian's chart. Your numbers look much better. We're going to keep you another few days for observation, but I think you'll make a full recovery. Relief flooded Elijah. Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank her. Dr. Morris gestured to Sky. If she hadn't called 911 when she did, we'd be having a very different conversation. Vivian squeezed Sky's hand. My guardian angel. I'm not an angel, Sky said quietly. You are to me. Dr. Morris addressed Elijah. We need to discuss post-discharge care. Your mother will need help at home. Daily medication. Assistance with meals. Someone to monitor her condition. I'll do it, Elijah said immediately. Dr. Morris raised an eyebrow. You understand this is a significant time commitment? Several weeks, possibly months. I understand. What about your work? I'll figure it out. The doctor looked skeptical but nodded. We'll have a social worker discuss specifics with you before discharge. He left. Vivian stared at her son. You're really going to do this? Yes. Why now? After all this time? Elijah pulled out the folded paper. His mother's list. Placed it on her bed where she could see it. Because I finally understand what I've been missing. 3 days later, Vivian was moved to a regular room. No more ICU. No more machines beeping constantly. Just a regular hospital bed with a window overlooking the parking lot. Progress. Elijah had barely left the hospital. He slept in the chair beside her bed. Ate cafeteria food. Ignored calls from work. Sky came every morning. Brought flowers she'd bought with money she'd earned returning bottles. Small bouquets that probably cost $3 but meant everything. You don't have to bring these, Vivian said each time. I want to, Sky always replied. On the 4th day, Dr. Morris came in with discharge papers. You're going home tomorrow, he said to Vivian. But there are conditions. What conditions? Elijah asked. She needs someone with her full-time for at least 3 weeks. No stairs. No heavy lifting. Medication twice daily. Physical therapy 3 times a week. I'll handle it, Elijah said. Where does she live? 3rd floor walk-up. No elevator. The doctor frowned. That won't work. She can't do stairs yet. Then she'll stay with me. Everyone looked at Elijah. Your place? Vivian asked. Yes. I have an extra bedroom. No stairs. Close to the hospital. Elijah, I can't. Mom, you need help. I'm offering help. Please let me do this. Vivian looked uncertain. What about Sky? What about her? She needs somewhere safe too. Elijah looked at Sky. She stood by the window, arms crossed. Defensive. There's another bedroom, he said. If she wants it. I don't need charity, Sky said immediately. It's not charity. It's... Elijah searched for the right words. It's family helping family. I'm not your family. You saved my mother's life. That makes you family. Sky's jaw tightened. She looked at Vivian. What do you think? I think you deserve a safe place to sleep, Vivian said gently. And I'd like to know you're okay. I'm always okay. No, you're not. And you shouldn't have to be. Vivian held out her hand. Please, Sky. For me. The room went quiet. Sky's resistance crumbled. She took Vivian's hand. Nodded once. Dr. Morris cleared his throat. Good. That's settled. I'll have the social worker bring the discharge instructions. He left. Vivian looked at Elijah with tears in her eyes. Thank you. Don't thank me. I should have done this months ago. But you're doing it now. That matters. The next morning, a nurse brought a wheelchair. Hospital policy, she said when Vivian protested. Everyone gets wheeled out. Elijah pushed his mother through the corridors. Sky walked beside them, carrying a small bag of Vivian's belongings. They passed the ER. The waiting room where they'd sat 3 days ago. The cafeteria where Elijah had drunk countless cups of bad coffee. Outside, sun broke through clouds. First sunshine in days. A cab waited at the curb. The nurse helped Vivian into the back seat. Elijah folded the wheelchair. Returned it. Sky climbed in beside Vivian. Elijah got in front. Where to? The driver asked. Elijah gave his address. As the cab pulled away, Vivian looked out the window. I never thought I'd leave that place. You almost didn't, Sky said quietly. But I did. Because of you. Because of both of us, Elijah corrected. He turned to look at them. We're a team now. Sky met his eyes. Still cautious. Still waiting to see if he'd keep his promises. But there was something else there too. Hope. The cab merged into traffic. The hospital disappeared behind them. What happens now? Vivian asked. Now you rest, Elijah said. And heal. And let us take care of you. I'm not used to being taken care of. Get used to it. She smiled. Closed her eyes. Let herself relax for the first time in weeks. Sky watched Chicago pass by the window. The streets she'd walked 1,000 times. The alleys she'd slept in. The corners where she'd begged for change. All of it familiar. All of it part of her. But maybe not her future. Sky. Vivian's voice was soft. You okay? Yeah. Sky turned away from the window. I'm okay. And for the first time in years, she meant it. The cab turned onto Elijah's street. Pulled up to the building. A doorman opened the car door. Looked surprised to see Elijah with company. Welcome back, Mr. Crane. Thanks, Marcus. Elijah helped his mother out carefully. This is my mother, Vivian. And this is Sky. They'll be staying with me. Marcus's eyebrows rose, but he recovered quickly. Of course. Welcome. They rode the elevator in silence. Watched the numbers climb. 10, 20. 30, 40. 50. The doors opened. Home. The first week was chaos. Vivian's medication schedule was complicated. 8 pills a day at specific times. Elijah set alarms on his phone. Made charts. Still got it wrong twice. Sky never got it wrong. She knew every pill. Every dosage. Every time. How do you remember all this? Elijah asked on the third day. I've been managing it for 2 weeks, Sky said simply. You've been doing it for 3 days. She was right. Physical therapy appointments were Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. The hospital was 40 minutes away in traffic. Elijah hired a car service. Sky said it was a waste of money. They argued about it. She needs to get there safely, Elijah said. The bus goes there, Sky countered. The bus takes twice as long. So? Time is free. They compromised. Car service for Vivian. Sky and Elijah took the bus when they went anywhere together. Sky was teaching him her world. He was learning. One morning, Vivian woke up confused. Didn't recognize the room. Started panicking. Elijah froze. Didn't know what to do. Sky was there in seconds. It's okay, Vivian. You're safe. Look at me. She took the old woman's hands. Spoke calmly. You're at Elijah's apartment. Remember? You came here from the hospital. Hospital? Vivian's voice shook. You were sick. But you're getting better. See? Sky pointed to the window. That's the city. You can see the park from here. Slowly, recognition returned to Vivian's eyes. Sky. Yeah, it's me. I was dreaming. Thought I was back in that alley. You're not. You're here. You're safe. Vivian's breathing steadied. She looked at Elijah standing uselessly by the door. I'm sorry. Don't apologize, he said. Are you okay? I think so. Sky got her water. Helped her take her morning pills. Adjusted the pillows so she could sit up comfortably. All things Elijah should have known to do. Didn't. Later, when Vivian was sleeping, he found Sky in the kitchen making toast. How did you know what to do? He asked. When she panicked? Yeah. My mom used to get confused sometimes. At the end. When she was really sick. Sky spread butter on the toast carefully. You just have to be calm. Remind them where they are. Make them feel safe. Your mom had the same thing? No. Different sickness. But the confusion was the same. She said it matter-of-factly. No emotion. Like she'd locked those memories in a box and only opened it when necessary. How old were you? Elijah asked. When she died? 8. And you took care of her? My aunt was supposed to. But she worked a lot. So mostly it was me. 8 years old. Taking care of a dying mother. Alone. Sky, I don't. She cut him off. Don't feel sorry for me. I don't need that. What do you need? She looked at him. I need people to keep their promises. That's it. Point made. That afternoon, a woman from social services came to check on Vivian. Ms. Rodriguez. Clipboard. Kind eyes. Asked a lot of questions. How are you managing the care? She asked Elijah. We're figuring it out. We? Ms. Rodriguez looked at Sky. Is this your daughter? No. She's a family friend. Does she live here? Yes. Full-time? Elijah hesitated. Yes. Ms. Rodriguez made notes. And her parents? Dead, Sky said flatly. I'm sorry. Ms. Rodriguez's voice softened. Who's your legal guardian? My aunt. Does she know you're here? Sky said nothing. Sky. Elijah prompted. She doesn't care where I am as long as I don't cause trouble. Ms. Rodriguez frowned. Do you have her contact information? Why? Because legally, a minor can't just live with someone without guardian permission. Sky's face went hard. So what are you going to do? Send me back to the street? No one's sending you anywhere, Elijah said quickly. That may not be your decision, Ms. Rodriguez said. Child welfare laws exist for a reason. She's safe here, Elijah argued. She has food, shelter, a bed. I understand. But without proper legal arrangement, this situation is complicated. Vivian's voice came from the bedroom. What's going on? Everyone turned. She stood in the doorway. Weak but determined. They want to take Sky away, she said. It wasn't a question. Not necessarily, Ms. Rodriguez said. But we need to ensure proper guardianship. Then make Elijah her guardian. Silence. Mom, Elijah started. She needs someone. You need to be someone who does the right thing. Vivian looked at him. This is the right thing. Ms. Rodriguez left with a promise to return in 3 days. We'll need documentation, she'd said. Guardian consent. Background checks. Home inspection. After she left, the apartment fell silent. Sky sat on the couch. Arms crossed. Face unreadable. Elijah stood by the window. Mind racing. Vivian had gone back to bed. The conversation had exhausted her. You don't have to do this, Sky said finally. Do what? Become my guardian. I'll be fine. You won't be fine. Social services will put you in foster care. Maybe that's better. You don't believe that. Sky didn't argue. Because he was right. She'd heard stories about foster care. Kids passed between homes. Never staying anywhere long. Never belonging anywhere. Why would you even want to? She asked. I'm not your responsibility. No, you're not. Elijah turned to face her. But you saved my mother's life. You showed me what I'd become. What I'd lost. He paused. I want to be better. And part of that means not walking away when someone needs help. I don't need help. Everyone needs help sometimes. Sky looked away. What if your aunt says no? We'll deal with that when it happens. What if social services says no? Then I'll find another way. Why? The question hung between them. Elijah sat down on the couch. Left space between them. When I was your age, my father left. Just walked out one day. Didn't come back. Sky looked at him. Surprised. My mom worked 3 jobs to keep us fed. Keep the lights on. I barely saw her. He stared at his hands. I swore when I grew up, I'd never struggle like that. I'd make enough money so no one I loved would ever feel that kind of fear again. So you made money. I made a lot of money. Built a company. Got successful. He looked at her. But somewhere along the way, I forgot why I was doing it. Forgot that money was supposed to help people, not replace them. Your mom needed you. Not your money. I know that now. Because of you. He leaned back. You could have just taken my wallet and disappeared. Spent the money on yourself. But you didn't. You used it to help someone who needed it more. That's just basic decency. No, it's not. Most people wouldn't have done what you did. He turned to face her fully. You're 11 years old. You've been through things no kid should go through. And you still chose kindness. Still chose to help. Sky's eyes filled with tears. She blinked them back. I want to be more like you, Elijah said quietly. And maybe you need someone who won't leave. Who'll show up. Who'll be there. People always leave. Not this time. You don't know that. You're right. I don't. He held her gaze. But I'm asking you to let me try. Sky wiped her eyes with her sleeve. What if I mess up? Then you mess up. We'll figure it out. What if I steal something again? Then we'll talk about why. And how to handle it differently. What if? Sky. His voice was gentle. Stop looking for reasons this won't work. Let's try to make it work instead. She studied him. Looking for lies. For cracks. For signs he'd change his mind. She didn't find any. One condition, she said. What? You don't give up on your mom either. You stay involved. Visit her. Call her. Actually be her son. Deal. And you teach me stuff. How to manage money. How to cook something other than toast. How to, her voice cracked. How to be normal. Elijah's chest tightened. You are normal. No, I'm not. Normal kids don't live on streets. Don't steal wallets. Don't know which dumpsters have the best food. Then we'll figure out normal together. He held out his hand. Partners? Sky looked at his hand. At his face. At the sincerity there. She took his hand. Partners. They shook on it. From the bedroom, Vivian's voice called out. Did she say yes? Sky laughed despite herself. You were listening? I'm sick, not deaf. Vivian appeared in the doorway. Smiling. So? She said yes, Elijah confirmed. Vivian's smile widened. Good. Now we're really a family. The word hung in the air. Family. Sky had lost hers. Elijah had neglected his. And somehow, they'd found each other. It wasn't traditional. It wasn't perfect. But it was real. And for all of them, that was enough. Sky's aunt came 2 days later. Her name was Regina. 40-something. Tired eyes. Cigarette smell clinging to her jacket. She stood in Elijah's doorway looking annoyed. "So you're the rich guy," she said. "I'm Elijah. Come in." Regina walked inside. Looked around. Whistled low. "Nice place. Guess Sky landed in butter." Sky appeared from her room. Stopped when she saw her aunt. "Hey, kid." Regina didn't move to hug her. Social worker called. "Said you've been living here." "Yeah. Without telling me. You weren't home." "I'm home sometimes. Not when it matters." Regina's jaw tightened. "Watch your mouth. It's true and you know it." Elijah stepped between them. "Ms. Regina, thank you for coming. Can we sit down and talk?" Regina dropped onto the couch. Pulled out a cigarette. "No smoking inside," Elijah said quickly. She rolled her eyes. "Put it away. What do you want?" "I'd like to become Sky's legal guardian." "Why?" "Because she needs stability. A safe home. Someone who can provide for her." "I provide for her." "Do you?" The words came out sharper than Elijah intended. Regina's eyes flashed. "I took her in when her mama died. I didn't have to do that. I feed her. Give her a place to sleep." "When's the last time you saw her?" Elijah asked. "I don't know. Few weeks maybe. Try 3 months." Regina's face reddened. "I work 2 jobs. I can't be home every second." "I'm not asking you to be home every second. I'm asking when you last checked if she was okay. If she had food. If she was safe. She knows where I am if she needs something. She's 11 years old. So? I was on my own at 11. Turned out fine." Sky laughed bitterly. "You're barely holding it together." "Sky," Elijah warned. "No, she needs to hear it." Sky faced her aunt. "You work all the time because you're drowning in debt. Your boyfriend steals from you. You drink when you think I'm not looking. That's not fine." Regina stood up fast. "You ungrateful little." "Enough." Elijah moved in front of Sky. "This isn't helping." "She's my blood," Regina said. "Not yours. Blood doesn't mean anything if you're not present." "And you are?" "You've known her what, 2 weeks?" "Yes. And in those 2 weeks, I've made sure she ate 3 meals a day. Had clean clothes. Slept in a safe bed. Went to a doctor for a checkup she probably hasn't had in years." Regina flinched at that last part. "I'm not saying you're a bad person," Elijah continued, voice softer. "I'm saying you're overwhelmed. You can't take care of her the way she needs. And that's okay. But she deserves better. Better like this?" Regina gestured around. "Rich guy playing savior? What happens when you get bored? When this little charity project stops being fun? This isn't charity. This is," Elijah stopped. Looked at Sky. "This is family." Regina laughed. "Family. Right. You've known her 2 weeks and suddenly she's family. She saved my mother's life." That stopped Regina cold. "What?" Elijah told her everything. The wallet. The chase. Finding his mother in the alley. The hospital. How Sky had been caring for a stranger while Regina hadn't noticed she was gone. When he finished, Regina sat back down. Looked at Sky differently. "You did all that?" she asked quietly. "Yes. Why didn't you tell me?" "When? You're never home." And when you are, you don't ask. Regina's eyes filled with tears. I'm doing my best, Sky. I know. But your best isn't enough. Sky's voice cracked. And I'm tired of pretending it is. Silence filled the room. Regina wiped her eyes. Looked at Elijah. If I say yes to this guardian thing, do I still see her? Of course. Anytime you want. And she'd be safe? Have everything she needs? Yes. Regina looked at her niece. Is this what you want? Sky nodded. Say it out loud. Yes. This is what I want. Regina's shoulders slumped. All the fight drained out of her. Okay, she whispered. Okay. The paperwork took 3 weeks. Background checks. Home inspections. Interviews with social workers. Ms. Rodriguez came back 4 times. Asked questions. Observed how they lived together. How's school going? She asked Sky during the 3rd visit. Sky had started at a new school 2 weeks earlier. 6th grade. Kids stared at her the first day. She'd stared back until they looked away. It's fine, Sky said. Just fine. Better than not going. A mess. Rodriguez smiled slightly. Made a note. She watched Elijah help Vivian with physical therapy exercises in the living room. Watched Sky remind him about medication times. Watched them eat dinner together at the table. You cook now? She asked Elijah. I'm learning. Sky's teaching me. It's painful to watch, Sky added. But he's getting better. Slowly, Vivian added with a smile. The 3 of them laughed. Easy. Natural. Ms. Rodriguez made another note. On her 4th visit, she brought final papers. The judge approved it, she said. Pending Regina's signature, which we have. Elijah Crane is now Sky's legal guardian. Sky had been prepared for this moment. Expected it. But hearing it out loud made it real. She had a home. A real one. With people who wanted her there. There's one more thing, Ms. Rodriguez said. She pulled out another document. Your aunt wanted you to have this. Sky opened it. A letter. Handwritten. Sky. I'm sorry I wasn't what you needed. I tried, but trying isn't the same as succeeding. You deserve someone who can actually be there. Who can give you the life I can't. I'm proud of you. Always have been. Even when I didn't show it. Be good. Be safe. Be happy. Love, Aunt Regina. Sky folded the letter carefully. Put it in her pocket. She doing okay? She asked Ms. Rodriguez. She enrolled in a program. For the debt. For the drinking. She's trying. Good. After MS. Rodriguez left, Vivian made hot chocolate. They sat in the living room. City lights twinkling below. How do you feel? Elijah asked Sky. Weird. Good weird or bad weird? I don't know yet. He understood. Everything had changed so fast. A month ago, she lived on streets. Now she lived on the 52nd floor. We should celebrate, Vivian said. Something special. Like what? Sky asked. Whatever you want. Sky thought for a moment. Can we visit the shelter? The one where your mom used to eat? Elijah looked surprised. Why there? Because there are kids there like me. Who don't have what I have now. I want to bring them something. Vivian's eyes filled with tears. Oh, sweetheart. Is that okay? Sky asked. It's more than okay, Elijah said. his voice thick with emotion. It's perfect. The next day, they went shopping. Bought coats, blankets, toys. Filled the car with supplies. The shelter director recognized Vivian immediately. "You're back," she said, smiling. "And you look so much healthier." "I am. Thanks to these two." Vivian gestured to Elijah and Sky. They spent 3 hours there. Handing out supplies. Talking to families. Sky sat with the kids. Told them stories. Made them laugh. Elijah watched her. Saw how natural she was with them. How easily she connected. Because she'd been them. She understood. On the drive home, Sky was quiet. "You okay?" Elijah asked. "Yeah. Just thinking." "About?" "How different my life is now. How lucky I am." "You're not lucky," Vivian said from the back seat. "You earned this. By being brave. By being kind." "I stole a wallet." "To save a life," Elijah corrected. "Context matters." Sky smiled slightly. "You sound like a lawyer." "I'm a businessman." "Close enough." They pulled up to the building. Marcus opened the car door. "Evening, Mr. Crane." "Miss Vivian." "Miss Sky." Sky still wasn't used to being called Miss Sky. But she liked it. Upstairs, Elijah's phone rang. His business partner. He'd been calling less lately. The company was managing without him. Elijah answered. "Hey. The Tokyo deal closed. Thought you'd want to know." "That's great. You coming back to the office soon?" Elijah looked at Sky helping Vivian with her coat. At the life they'd built together. "Eventually," he said. "But not yet." "How much longer?" "As long as it takes." A pause. "You've changed." "Yeah. I have. For what it's worth, I think it's for the better." "Thanks." He hung up. Sky looked at him. "Work stuff?" "Nothing important." "Liar. But I appreciate you saying it." He smiled. "Want to help me make dinner?" "Only if you promise not to burn it this time." "No promises." They headed to the kitchen together. Vivian turned on music. Something old. Jazz maybe. And for the first time in longer than Elijah could remember, his apartment felt like a home. 2 months later, Elijah made a mistake. A big one. He'd been working from home more. Taking calls. Handling emergencies. Trying to balance everything. He told himself he was managing. Told himself he could do both. He was wrong. Thursday morning. Physical therapy day. Vivian's appointment was at 10. Elijah was on a conference call at 9:30. Important client. Contract worth millions. "I just need 15 more minutes," he told Sky. "The appointment is at 10, she said. "I know. I'll be done by 9:45. We'll make it." Sky crossed her arms. "You said that last time. We were 20 minutes late. This is different." "It's never different with you." The words stung because they were true. "Sky, I'm handling it." "No, you're not. You're falling back into old patterns. That's not fair." "Isn't it?" She stared at him. "You promised to be present. To show up. But you're on your phone all the time now. Taking calls during dinner. Working after Vivian goes to bed. I'm trying to balance." "There's no balance. There's just you choosing work over her again." Elijah opened his mouth to argue. Closed it. She was right. The client was still talking on the phone. He'd muted himself. "I have to finish this call," he said quietly. "Fine. I'll take her myself." Sky. "What? You want to come? Then come. Hang up the phone and come." He looked at his laptop screen. At the client's face. At the contract that needed signing. Then at Sky's disappointed expression. "Give me 2 minutes," he said. He unmuted. "I apologize, but I need to reschedule. Family emergency." The client looked annoyed. "We're in the middle of." "I understand. My assistant will coordinate a new time. Thank you." He ended the call. Sky's eyebrows rose. "You actually hung up. You were right. I was falling back into old habits." "So you're coming?" "I'm coming." They took Vivian to therapy. Sat in the waiting room while she worked with the therapist. Elijah's phone buzzed constantly. Emails. Messages. His business partner calling. He silenced it. "You can answer," Sky said. "No. They sound important." "They are. But this is more important." He looked at her. "You keep me honest. Thank you for that. Someone has to. I'm glad it's you." They sat in silence for a moment. "You know what's funny?" Sky said. "What?" 2 months ago, you were chasing me through streets. You were furious. You wanted me arrested. I remember. Now you're my guardian. We live together. She paused. Searched for the word. "Family," Elijah finished. "Yeah. Family." She smiled. "It's weird." "Good weird?" "Yeah. Good weird." Vivian emerged from therapy. Smiling. The therapist with her. "She's doing excellent," the therapist said. "Strength is coming back. Range of motion improving. At this rate, she'll be fully independent in another month." Pride swelled in Elijah's chest. "That's wonderful. It's because she has good support at home," the therapist continued. "That makes all the difference." On the way back, they stopped for lunch. Small diner. Nothing fancy. Vivian ordered soup. Sky got a burger. Elijah got coffee and toast. "You need to eat more than that," Sky said. "I'm not hungry." "You're stressed. You always skip meals when you're stressed." "How do you know that?" "Because I pay attention." She pushed her fries toward him. "Eat." He ate a fry. Then another. Vivian watched them with amusement. "She's mothering you now." "Someone has to," Sky said. "I don't need mothering," Elijah protested. "Yes, you do. You work too hard. Don't sleep enough. Forget to eat." "I'm fine." "You're not. But you will be." Sky took a bite of her burger. "Because I'm not letting you fall apart." Elijah looked at this 11-year-old girl who'd somehow become the glue holding them together. "When did you get so wise?" he asked. "When I didn't have a choice." The truth of it sat heavy between them. "You have choices now," Vivian said gently. "I know." Sky smiled. "And I choose to make sure you both stay okay." "We're supposed to be taking care of you," Elijah said. "Maybe we take care of each other." Vivian reached across the table. Took both their hands. That's what families do. Later that night, Elijah's business partner called. "You hung up on a major client today," he said. "Not angry. Just stating fact." "I know." He was upset. "I'll call and apologize." "What's going on with you?" Elijah looked at Sky doing homework at the kitchen table. At Vivian reading on the couch. I'm figuring out what actually matters, he said. And work doesn't matter? It matters. But not more than them. Silence on the other end. Okay, his partner said finally. Then we'll adjust. Figure out a way to make it work. You do that? You built this company. You're allowed to have a life too. After hanging up, Sky looked at him. Everything okay? Yeah. Everything's okay. And for the first time in his adult life, he meant it. Spring came to Chicago. Trees bloomed. Snow melted. The city transformed from gray to green. Vivian completed her final physical therapy session. You're cleared, the therapist said. Full independence restored. They celebrated with dinner. Real dinner. The kind Elijah cooked himself without burning it. Sky helped. She'd gotten good at cooking over the past months. Better than Elijah, though she never said it. Vivian sat at the table. Color in her cheeks. Strength in her movements. The woman from the alley was gone. This woman was alive. To recovery, Elijah said, raising his glass. To second chances, Vivian added. To family, Sky finished. They clinked glasses. After dinner, Sky showed them her report card. Straight B's. 1A in English. I'm proud of you, Elijah said. It's just B's. You missed 3 years of consistent school. B's are amazing. Sky smiled. Actually smiled. Real and unguarded. My teacher says I'm catching up fast. Says I might make honor roll next semester. You will, Vivian said with certainty. You're brilliant. I'm not. Yes, you are. Don't argue with your grandmother. The word stopped everyone. Grandmother. Vivian's eyes widened. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to assume. No. Sky's voice cracked. I like it. Can I call you that? Oh, sweetheart. Vivian stood. Pulled Sky into a hug. I would be honored. They held each other. Two people who'd found family in the least expected place. Elijah watched them. Felt his chest tighten with emotion he didn't try to hide anymore. His phone buzzed. He glanced at it. Work email. Ignored it. Later, after Vivian went to bed, Sky found Elijah on the balcony. Can't sleep, she asked. Just thinking. About what? About how different everything is now. He looked at the city below. 6 months ago, I lived here alone. Worked 16-hour days. Thought I had everything figured out. And now? Now I know I didn't know anything. Sky leaned against the railing beside him. You weren't all bad. You just lost your way. That's generous. It's true. People make mistakes. What matters is what they do after. When did you become so wise? I've always been wise. You just started listening. He laughed. Actually laughed. Something he did more now. School's doing a father-daughter dance next month, Sky said casually. Elijah looked at her. Yeah. Yeah. It's stupid. I probably won't go. Why not? Because. She trailed off. Kicked at nothing. I don't have a dad. The words hung between them. You have me, Elijah said quietly. You're my guardian. That's different. Is it? Sky looked at him. Eyes searching. What are you saying? I'm saying if you want to go to that dance, I'd be honored to take you. As what? As whatever you want me to be. Tears filled Sky's eyes. She wiped them quickly. This is stupid. It's just a dance. It's not stupid. I don't even know how to dance. Neither do I. We'll figure it out. She laughed through tears. We're going to look ridiculous. Probably. But we'll look ridiculous together. Sky was quiet for a moment. Then, so softly he almost missed it, okay. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. They stood on the balcony. City lights spreading out forever. Both of them thinking about how far they'd come. Elijah? Sky's voice was small. Yeah. Thank you. For not giving up on me. Even when I gave you reasons to. Sky. He turned to face her fully. You saved my mother's life. You showed me what actually matters. You made me want to be better. His voice broke. I should be thanking you. We saved each other, she said simply. And she was right. A thief and a billionaire. A child and a man who'd forgotten how to be human. A grandmother who'd almost died alone. 3 broken people who'd found each other in an alley on a rainy day. And somehow, impossibly, they'd become whole. Inside, Vivian called out. Are you two coming in? It's getting cold. Coming, they called back in unison. Sky headed inside. Elijah followed. Before the door closed, he looked back at the city one more time. 6 months ago, he'd owned it all. Had everything. Now he had less. And somehow, he had more than he ever dreamed possible. He had family. Real family. And that was worth more than all the money in the world. If you made it this far, you're part of something special. This story started with a theft and ended with redemption. That's the power of second chances. If this moved you, changed you, or made you think differently about what really matters, subscribe right now. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And comment below, what's the one lesson from Sky's story that you're taking with you? I want to know. Thank you for being here. Now let's see how this journey ends. Saturday morning. Sunlight spilled through the windows. No alarm. No rush. Just peace. Elijah woke to the smell of pancakes. He found Sky in the kitchen. Flipping them like a pro. Vivian sat at the counter, supervising. You're up early, he said. Couldn't sleep, Sky said. So I made breakfast. Without burning anything? Without burning anything. They ate together. Talked about nothing important. Everything important. Sky had a soccer game later. Her first ever. She was nervous. What if I'm terrible? She asked. Then you'll get better, Vivian said. That's how it works. What if the other kids are mean? Then you handle it, Elijah said. You've handled worse. She had. They all had. After breakfast, Sky went to get ready. Elijah helped Vivian with dishes. She's doing well, Vivian said quietly. Better than well. She's thriving. Because of you. Because of us. He dried a plate. I couldn't do this without you, Mom. Yes, you could. But I'm glad you don't have to. She squeezed his hand. I'm sorry, Elijah said. For all those years. For not being there. I know. You've shown me every day since. She smiled. That's what matters now. They finished the dishes in comfortable silence. At the soccer field, Sky was small compared to other kids. But she was fast. And fearless. She scored once. Fell twice. Got back up both times. Elijah and Vivian cheered from the sidelines. Loud and proud. Other parents stared. The billionaire and the grandmother and the girl who didn't quite fit. But they were a family. And families didn't have to fit anyone's expectations but their own. After the game, they went for ice cream. Sky got chocolate. Vivian got vanilla. Elijah got coffee. Same as always, Sky teased. I'm consistent. You're boring. I'm reliably boring. There's a difference. They sat on a bench. Watched people walk by. The city moving around them. Do you ever think about that day? Sky asked. When you chased me? Every day, Elijah admitted. Do you regret it? Chasing you? No. That was the best decision I ever made. Even though I stole from you. Especially because of that. He looked at her. You stole my wallet. But you gave me back my life. Vivian wiped her eyes. You two are going to make me cry. You cry at commercials, Grandma. I'm emotional. Sue me. They laughed. Easy. Natural. Real. A year ago, none of this existed. They were strangers. Broken in different ways. Lost in their own pain. Now they were whole. Not perfect. They still fought. Still made mistakes. Still had hard days. But they had each other. And that made everything else manageable. I need to tell you both something, Elijah said. They looked at him. I'm stepping back from the company. Not leaving completely. Just restructuring. Spending less time there. Why? Sky asked. Because I missed too much already. I don't want to miss any more. Are you sure? Vivian asked. That company is your life's work. No. He looked at them. You're my life's work. The company is just a job. Sky's eyes filled with tears. You'd really do that? I already did. Signed the papers yesterday. What will you do instead? I don't know yet. Figure it out as I go. He smiled. Maybe I'll coach soccer. I heard there's this kid who needs practice. Sky laughed through tears. I'm not that bad. You fell twice. But I got back up. Yes, you did. He put his arm around her shoulders. You always do. They sat together. Watching the world move. Knowing they'd found their place in it. A man who'd learned that success meant nothing without people to share it with. A woman who'd survived because a child refused to let her die alone. A girl who'd discovered that family wasn't about blood. It was about showing up. The sun climbed higher. Afternoon stretched into evening. They walked home slowly. No rush. Nowhere to be. Just three people who'd found each other when they needed it most. Who'd chosen each other every day since. Who'd learned that sometimes the best things in life come from the worst moments. That redemption is possible. That change is real. That love doesn't require perfection. Just presence. And as they walked into their building, Marcus holding the door, the city humming behind them, they knew one simple truth. They were home. Not because of the address or the floor or the view. But because they were together. And that was all that mattered. The elevator doors closed. The story that began with a theft ended with a choice. To be better. To show up. To love. And in that choice, they found everything they'd been searching for. Everything they'd lost. Everything they needed. Each other.